the actual use of the transmission, I mean, it couldn't be simpler on that little gear stick there. I mean, it's push forward, you go faster. Pull it back, you go slower. I mean, it couldn't actually be any simpler than that. Hello and welcome along to another review from LabPowerTV.com. Speaking of which, we've got our hands on the new Deutz-Fahr 6.4 series, and it's a range which kind of sits in between its 6C range and its larger full frame, its large frame 6 series. So in this new 6.4 series we've got three models. There's the 130.4, there's the 140, and then the one we've got, which is the most powerful in the range, is the 150.4. All the models in the range are available with either Deutz-Fahr's new 20-speed RV transmission, which is the one we've got, or you can go for the continuously variable transmission, which they call the TTV models. So as for our model then, the 150.4 RV shift, power comes from, like I say, Deutz-Fahr's own engine, which is a Fahr-Motion engine, as they call it, and that is 3.8 litre, 4-cylinder. It's got a rated horsepower of 148 horsepower, and it's got a maximum power when it hits that, when the revs die back and hits the top of that power bulge. It's got a maximum horsepower of 156, so fairly generous, like I say, in this compact package. And also there is no boost, which personally I quite like. What you see with this tractor in terms of power is what you get. As for the gearbox on this tractor, that RV shift, it is a 20-speed full power shift transmission, so there's no range changes to make or anything like that. Well, that in itself is quite an interesting one, particularly the way Deutz-Fahr has managed to achieve and create a full power shift 20-speed transmission with no range changes. And basically what they've done, instead of building a whole new transmission for this range of tractors, using conventional gears and things like that to achieve a 20-speed gearbox, what they've done, they've taken their TTV gearbox, their continuously variable transmission, which, you know, if you know your continuously variable transmissions, they are a seamless change of speed from 0 all the way up to 50 kph, for instance. But what they've done for this, to create a power shift like driving experience, they've put virtual steps in that transmission to give you, well, as we can see here, if we just knock up through the gears, to give you a power shift like driving experience. Now on the surface of it, and we're going to get a lot more into this in a little bit as we go on through this episode, on the surface of it, when I first saw it and when they first explained it to me, I've got to admit I was mega cynical about this transmission. My instant reaction, my instant thought was, Jesus, Deutz-Fahr has been lazy, you might say, to, instead of actually developing a brand new gearbox, they've just gone and taken what they've had, adapted it a little bit, and sort of almost kind of sort of fobbed us off with, there you go, that's like a power shift, have that. But, and this is a big but, right? Having driven this tractor now for a good couple of days, as you can see, we're doing a bit of raking now. We're going to do a few more jobs, hopefully, weather permitting. But having driven this tractor after a couple of days already, I think it's very clever and very novel what they have done with this transmission and how they've achieved a power shift like driving experience. As ever, if you are watching this little trailer video on one of our social media channels and YouTube potentially, unfortunately for you guys, this little trailer video will run out, but as ever, to watch the full review episode, go and check out the full episode on that there landpowertv.com. We've got no adverts or anything like that getting in the way. As ever, massive thank you to all our sponsors down below here. If you can, go and check out their services, which may be of massive use to you. That would be awesome. And as ever, wherever you are watching this, if you could give us a like, give us a share, give us a follow, and more importantly, subscribe. That would be absolutely awesome. So, on with the show then. Like I say, hopefully, we've got quite a few jobs coming up to try out this tractor. As ever, it's always weather dependent. Right now we're doing a bit of raking, so that's what you're going to see in a few seconds. So that said then, and without further ado, we will crack on and find out what we can about this Deutz-Fahr tractor.